Hi, and welcome to the Fierce Boys podcast. I'm your host, Brigette Gildemaster. This is a podcast for those who are ready to leave behind survival mode after abuse, where we talk about what it looks like to embody who you are as an individual, learn to love yourself, and bring to light healing after surviving abuse from relationships and religion. Pop your earbuds in to hear heartfelt and powerful intensity from myself and guests. Be ready to put into place actual tools and gather insight for you to use on your healing journey. Hello, and welcome back to the Fierce Boys podcast. I'm your host, Brigette Gildemaster. Today I have Lynsy with me. I am so excited. I have seen a bunch of stuff she has done from afar through social media and our connections, but I haven't officially really talked to her or gotten to know a whole lot about her. So I'm really excited to dive in. So Lynsy, I'll just let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi there. Thank you for having me. My name's Lynsy Karrick. I am located in Indianapolis, and I speak a lot on living intentionally and change and kind of embracing change. So I'm excited to chat today.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm so excited because obviously as my audience, dealing with trauma and transitions and, coming out of a divorce or even, a drastic life change with changing your mindset around your belief system or, all of that, coming out of all of that is a huge part of mindset work and healing in that journey. So what are you most passionate about in what you speak? What's like your overall message that you want every woman to know?
Yeah, I think the thing that I try to emphasize the most is evolution comes from options. So I do a lot of education and training with students, with volunteers, and in that training, we talk a lot about change, organizational change, personal change, all of that kind of stuff. And when I was asking a group of young college men, actually, why change was so important, one of the young men in the audience raised his hand and said, change is important because evolution comes from options. And that just stuck with me. And I asked him to elaborate for me, and he said, if we want to grow as an organization, as an individual, in our lives, we can't just keep doing the same things that we've always been doing. We're only going to get the same results. And if we want to grow and change and evolve, sometimes we have to hit the pause button. Sometimes we have to stop, take a look around, and see what our options are. What is out there? What paths are available to me? And then make an intentional decision, an educated decision about how you want to move forward, right? And I think we've all had those crucible moments in our lives, whether they be positive moments, negative moments, traumatic moments, that have forced us really to stop and make a decision on a new path. And I really think that is something that we should all really embrace, that opportunity, even if it's really difficult in the moment. Change a lot of times is. So taking that time out to look around, see what options are available to us, and not be afraid to move into that next new path.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, wow. So much in that, right? Everything you just said, like, oh my goodness. Like, yeah, if we don't change, actually, I just did a Facebook post before we hopped on the call. It reminded me of that, of, the same person will keep showing up in your life over and over again until you change. And right, like I love what you said, we can't do something, we can't expect different results from them doing the same patterns over and over again. We can't evolve. We can't expect any less. And so that's just amazing. Yeah. And I love where your inspiration comes from. That's adorable. That's so awesome. What have you found to be in changing when you found that and that hit you with that mindset? Did you have any personal experiences or stories that just was like, oh my gosh, this is showing up in my life?
Yeah, I think, growing up, I'm from a town of 600 people, so very rural, small town, and nobody really leaves. And that's not a knock to the town. It's a wonderful little community. But I always had these dreams of like, okay, I'm gonna get out someday. I'm gonna go and do more and explore. And I did that, but I feel like I did it with a very prescribed list of these are the things I should be doing to be quote unquote successful. Okay, I'm going to go to a 4-year school because that's what, traditionally successful people do. And I'm going to major in accounting because sure, why not? Successful people are accountants, and I'm going to, then graduate and get a job and get married and have the children and all of these things. And I just started checking things off of a list without really checking in with myself to see if that's really honestly what I wanted in life. And as I was kind of going through the motions, I met someone actually working at a summer camp in Maine one summer while I was in undergrad. And he was very like fly by the seat of his pants, go where the wind takes him kind of a person. He just lived life on his own terms. And I couldn't really understand it. I was like, what? How can you live like that? Like, where's your to-do list? And he was like, Lynsy, do you ever just do something because it's what you want to do rather than doing everything that you feel like you should be doing? And that hit me hard. um, I at the time I just kind of filed it away and then just kept doing the things on my list. But after I graduated and started working in the accounting world and was miserable, I was like, okay, something needs to change here. And that message came back to the forefront. Why don't you do something that you actually want to do instead of all these things that you feel like you should be doing? And so I quit my job, completely changed fields, went and got a master's in education, started working with college students, moved into the leadership development space, started speaking more, and it was terrifying to do all of that, leave relative stability to do something completely different. But oh my gosh, I'm so much happier. So much happier. And to me, that is by far the most important thing.
To do what you love and to be in an environment that supports you and who you are as an individual. And it sounds like you've even gone beyond that and created your own, you have your own businesses. And so, it's priceless, right? Like when it's like that saying, you can't expect a flower to bloom in the environment that is destroying, or however that goes. I'm clearly not very good with quotes today. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? We've all seen it on social media. And yeah, and you have to take that choice and that leap and make the changes to get a different outcome. And you've done that. That's amazing. Yeah. 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 So tell us a little bit about, so you stepped into the speaking world. It is very different from accounting. I actually worked at an accounting firm for tax season one time, and that's an intense job. I was very glad I was the receptionist, not anybody in the back. I did, however, have to go over people's taxes with them, which was not fun to tell people how much they owed in taxes. So I was very grateful that I got to go grab the accountant and be like, they have questions, I'm out.
Yeah.
So yeah, what an intense field change into speaking. I mean, it's almost like a fantasy, your story. In all reality, you literally have this job that we all know is just books and numbers, and very unique people would enjoy it. And you went into speaking, which is like the limelight. You're up on stage, you get to meet all these people, you get to share an impact on, I mean, just levels you'll never even you'll never even see, and you got into that. Like, how amazing, just because of you chose to make a different way.
Yep. Have to be intentional about uh what you want out of life, and making that choice, right? And making that choice can be really hard. And I kind of talk about change and quitting a job and changing paths and all this like it was easy, like it was no big thing. And it's not, right? And I realize that there's some privilege involved in that. Not everybody can just drop everything and change course. I realize that's not necessarily reality for everyone, and there's a lot that goes into that. However, I do think that there are smaller ways that you can find your joy, so to speak, in whatever situation that you find yourself in, and just take stock regularly of, you know, are you unhappy? And if you are unhappy, what is the root cause of that unhappiness? And is that something that you can directly impact? And if so, all right, let's start chipping away at it. It may not be an overnight quick fix. It may be years and years of working towards something more positive. But every little step really does matter and really does make an impact.
Yeah, I love that. I love what you say. Like, I have seen that. I've seen that actually as a mom in my own children, like the smallest environment change making just a world of difference, like in moods and attitude and health. Um, all of it overarching is just like, oh my gosh. And it's just, yeah, that's super powerful right there, to be able to pinpoint down, like sit with it, right? We tend to usually just get frustrated, and we know we're unhappy, but we don't know what to do about it. And you really do. You have to sit with those feelings, right? And dig deep of what exactly is it about this that makes
Mhm.
me unhappy. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah. Yeah, what for you, what was the first action step you took? What was most impactful for you that you like to share with others?
Yeah, I think when I did recognize that a lot of my unhappiness was coming from just not caring about the work that I was doing, I was like, okay, well, I need to find work that I do care about. And that isn't always obvious, right? I know a lot of people struggle with, I want to do something I care about, but I'm not really sure what that is. Um, I found it in volunteering. I was volunteering with an organization on my college campus while working. And I just realized that every time I would go to campus and work with that group, that I would kind of come alive, and I just really, really enjoyed the time that I was spending with the women there. And I thought, maybe this is the answer. Maybe I need to take a step in this direction. And so that was me pausing and taking a look around at what I was finding joy in, right? And realizing, hey, I can make a career out of this. Let's explore that more. And then comes the research and the taking the next step and all of that kind of stuff. So, for me, the action item there was number one, figuring out what's not working in life, right? And then number two, okay, what can I do about that? Take ownership of it, recognize that you do have control over a lot of things in your life. You may not be able to control everything, but there are a lot of things that you do have control over. And what of those things that you can control can you start to work on? And so uh, that's how I started off on this path and how I ended up here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh yeah. So tell us a little bit more, or tell me, I'm interested, more about your actual speaking business that you have, what you do, and all the different facets of that. I'm curious.
Yeah, so my business is called Lynsy Leads, and I do a lot of leadership development work and training and things like that. So I work with college students, I work with nonprofit organizations, teams within companies and businesses, and all of that kind of stuff to help make sure everybody's on the same page, working together. Um, I'm a certified strengths coach with Gallup. So for anybody who is a fan of Clifton Strengths, I know I geek out over it. I love it. And I help everyone figure out what their personal strengths are and how they can use those to better themselves and how they can use those to better work together as a team. So that is a lot of what I do. And then I also like to share this message of living with intention. Um, I would never have gotten into the work that I love doing now, and speaking and coaching and all of this good stuff had I not taken those steps to make changes in my own life. And to me, that message is so powerful, and I don't think enough people hear it, that you can improve your life. And so I really love to talk to a wide variety of audiences about that, and how they can make a change for the better.
Wow, wow, what powerful or impactful work. Like I bet it, and also rewarding. I bet like you get to see so many light bulb moments and that sparkle in people's eye, when they finally get, like kind of like, oh my gosh, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I can do. Like, I've never heard of what you're coaching, but I've done the Enneagram and personality tests like
Mhm.
that. So
Yeah.
I know what that's like, and it is definitely an amazing journey. So yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely very similar.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So, yeah, well, this has been great. I feel like you have so many tools and resources to offer, and even your own personal life experience is always invaluable, right? Like to have somebody who's actually lived through it, been there, done that, and can say on the other side, yeah, these are the obstacles you're going to face. It's not going to be easy, but here's some tools to get around that, like that's just invaluable. You bring so much to the table. I love it. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is there any last bit of wisdom or that you would love to share that you want everyone to know?
Oh gosh, I think you are going to find yourself at an impasse probably multiple times throughout life, and just dig deep, find that courage to take that next step and maybe in a new direction, and you'll be impressed with what you might find. And if you are a planner, if you are someone that feels like you need to know the direction of your life before it unfolds, make those I like to say, make those plans in Legos, not concrete. That way you can rebuild as needed, and you're not stuck in one place. It can be really paralyzing to pick a single direction for yourself and then not know how to get out of it, or not be prepared to change directions if you feel like you really want to or you need to. So build your life out of Legos,
Oh
as
my
weird as it
gosh.
might sound.
I love that. No, I love that. That has been a huge part of my journey, is keeping an open mind. But I love that analogy. That is so much more fun. I love that. I heard a quote one time. I'm about quotes today, apparently, but that was, open your mind, your brain won't fall out, but you'll be able to rebuild, or something like that. And it was just like, yes. And that's that. I love the Legos thing. That is awesome. That's that. Yeah, that's perfect. Well, awesome. Well, I'm so glad you were here today. I really appreciate being on the Fierce Voice. Like, it's going to impact so many people. Why don't you close out with letting everyone know where they can find you, get a hold of you, um, your socials, if you have any upcoming events or anything you want anybody to know about.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me online at lynsyleads.com. My name is spelled fun, in a fun way. Some people say it's weird. I say it's fun. So it's Lynnsy. So lynsyleads.com, at Lynsy Leads on Instagram and Facebook, Lynsy Karrick on LinkedIn. So that's how you can locate me, find me, and I look forward to connecting.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. So we'll chat soon,
Thank you so much, Brigette.
of course. Thank you for joining us today on the Fierce Voice podcast. I truly hope you found healing insight, tools, and a space held for you in this journey. We are all in this together, and you are not alone. You can find me, your host, Brigette Gildemaster, on all social media platforms, and check out my website at www.brigittegildemaster.com, where you can listen to past Fierce Voice episodes, check out my media features, find my books, and inquire about booking me for your next virtual or in-person event. My keynotes are impactful with real-life stories, actionable tools, and inspiration for healing after a life-altering experience. Or check out my workshop event to learn more about how you can prevent abuse in your area. Have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you next time on the Fierce Voice Podcast.